Hello and welcome to the Auto Today YouTube channel. My name is Dhruv and with me today is the BMW X3 facelift. For 2022, BMW has given its mid-size luxury SUV a nip and tuck with revised exteriors and interiors. But before we get into what all has changed, do remember to subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon so that you get notified every time we go live with a video on Auto Today. What you get in the facelifted BMW X3 in terms of the exterior is some changes to the front end. The headlamp cluster is all new, it's much sleeker, it gets these nice looking L-shaped LED DRLs. And down below, if you notice, the bumper is also different. And it's slightly sharper with a more sharper crease and just slightly sportier in some sense. The grille has been revised as well. It has grown in size, but thankfully it is not as big as certain newer BMW models which have divided opinion. Over to the side, the only change is the new set of two-tone alloy wheels. And at the back, there are redesigned tail lamps with a 3D look. This here is the diesel luxury trim. If you pick the petrol-only M Sport trim, you get sportier bumpers and alloys, although the latter size is the same at 19 inches. When it comes to the interiors of the BMW X3 facelift, the major changes come in the form of new displays. For the driver, there's a new instrument panel, 12.3-inch, fully digital, and there is a new 12.3-inch floating touchscreen for the infotainment. Infotainment can be controlled via the iDrive controller here with a touchpad, or it's a touchscreen so you can just control it with your fingers. This infotainment unit also gets wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is a nifty feature, but the one thing missing in this variant is wireless charging. So for longer drives, do remember to carry a charging cable with you. This particular X3 does not get gesture controls like some of the other models BMW offers, so you don't get controls where you can just move your hand, do various gestures to increase the volume, receive a call, reject a call. But you have all the controls on the steering wheel, so it's not something you'll miss too much. Minor changes have been made to the center console under the screen as well, with the revised layout for the audio controls and aircon switches, and the gear selector sports a new look too. In addition to this trim's rear view camera, front and rear parking sensors and parking assistant, the M Sport trim also gets a 360-degree camera view. This being a facelift, space within the cabin for occupants and the boot space remain unchanged. The X3 continues to be offered with a petrol and a diesel engine option. The one we're driving today is the diesel with the 2-liter unit. This puts out about 190 bhp of maximum power and 400 Nm of peak torque. And that's plenty for an SUV this size. This can scamper to 100 kmph in just under 8 seconds, which is plenty fast. The driver gets to select from 3 preset driving modes, which is Sport, Comfort and EcoPro. And there is also an individual mode through which you can specifically alter each aspect of the car, like the suspension, the steering, the transmission performance. The BMW X3 comes with adaptive damping, and you get to choose between 2 preset modes. If you wish to configure the individual mode, you can select between Comfort and Sport, and they do exactly what the name suggests. Driving in the city, the one to go for is Comfort, especially keeping our less than perfect roads in mind. In Sport, it's focused on agility and dynamics will be much better, but yeah, you will feel more of the imperfections and more bumps and potholes filter into the cabin. This being the facelift, nothing much has changed. In fact, nothing really has changed when it comes to the driving feel, the ride and handling, and the way the car behaves on the road. And as is the case with most BMWs, including the X3, if driving enjoyment is high on your priority list, then X3 is the car to go for. Just the way everything behaves, everything comes together, just the way the steering responds to inputs, or the suspension has been set up, or the transmission responds to your throttle inputs, it just comes together so well. This is a car that you will generally enjoy driving more than its rivals. And again, coming back to that point, if driving aspect, if performance, not outright performance per se, but if just the whole driving experience from behind the wheel is a priority for you, then the BMW X3 is the car to go for. Since BMW's focus is towards driving dynamics, the trade-off is that the suspension setup is inherently slightly firm, especially at lower speeds. Sharper bumps and potholes will filter inside the cabin, but ride quality improves drastically once speed picks up, and at higher speeds the car is really stable, it's very confidence inspiring, and you will end up taking corners slightly quicker than most of its rivals. And again, it all circles back to the same point that if you want something you'll enjoy driving in this particular segment, the X3 is the pick of the lot, definitely. The mid-sized luxury SUV segment is quite crowded. Aside from the likes of the GLC from Mercedes-Benz, the Audi Q5 and the Volvo XC60, there's the newly launched Lexus NX and as many as 3 similarly priced SUVs from JLR, including the Discovery Sport, Evoque and F-Pace. The X3 has been one of the more popular offerings in the segment, and the update should help maintain the status quo. For us, if the driving experience matters more than other aspects, then you'll be the happiest behind the wheel of an X3. And that's without having to compromise on other aspects.